My first guest is a young man, Pat McGill, who actually helps pets discover their sexual identity. Pat, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
When did you first realize that there was a lot of sexual confusion out there in the animal kingdom?
Well, Gary, traditionally, animal sexual behavior has been treated purely in heterosexual terms. But a few situations came to my attention that started me questioning that. For example, one in my own home. I have a Great Dane as a pet named Rex, and Rex has a habit of attacking my record collection when I'm away, which in itself isn't that peculiar, but he would, for instance, one time I came home and he had completely destroyed the Julia Iglesias records I owned, whereas the Judy Garland records were stacked neatly by his water dish. Another time, however, he ransacked the Barbra Streisand records and left all the Springsteen untouched. So he was obviously confused. There are other examples. A friend of mine has a cat, a male cat, and the cat likes to play and romp in my friend's jockey shorts drawer. But at the same time, he loves to keep garter belts dug in little holes in the kitty litter. Also a confused cat. My aunt has a parrot, and the parrot, Fred, is the parrot's name, and he alternately will recite Polly wants a cracker or Bruce wants a cracker. So it became obvious to me that there was a lot of confusion, sexual confusion in the animal.
I see what you mean. I think you're onto something. I remember I saw a collie chasing a big Siamese cat once, and the collie stopped dead in its tracks, turned around, and went after a mailman who was bisexual.
That's typical. Yeah.
Now, what is your technique for discovering the correct sexual identity of a pet?
It's very simple, actually. The key is to mix species. A truly gay dog will be attracted to gay male or same-sex cats, for instance, and a straight dog will be interested in straight cats. So one test that I'll run is I'll put a sexually confused male dog in a cage with cats, male and female. If he goes around sniffing just the male dogs, then we know that we've got a pooch who's a little light in the loafers in that case.
Yeah.
At the same time, if instead the dog ignores the cats and cops sort of an attitude, then we know that's a straight dog. One time I put a dog in with both male and female cats, and he came away with 8 or 9 cat paw prints, which is roughly the equivalent of phone numbers.
Yeah. Now, once you discover a pet's sexual identity, I guess the next step would be to contact the owner.
Right, and this is difficult. That's obviously a sore subject with owners. They don't want to hear about that. But what you need to do is tell them that it's all right, and that what they need to do is let the pet be what he wants to be, not what the owners want to make out of him. So if you've got a parakeet, a male parakeet, that looks good in a sweater and feels good wearing a sweater, you've got to let him do that. Or if you've got a male poodle that turns out to be straight, and frankly that doesn't happen very often, but if that were the case, then what you need to do is not give him the stupid haircut.
Right. Now, you focus mainly on pets, but I'd imagine there's a lot of confusion out there in the regular wildlife kingdom.
Yes,
I can remember once I saw a big macho elk, huge antlers, and on one side he had a pink boa.
That's very common. Yes, you're exactly right. In the general wilderness, you'll find all sorts of sexual confusion. For instance, on Wild Kingdom, the program with Marlon Perkins, I saw him trap a rhinoceros once, and he had baited the trap with mascara. So that just shows you that it is common throughout the animal kingdom. I focus on pets because I find that pet owners is where the cash is, and you know, having a gay hamster or something, for example, is something that disturbs the whole family, and so a pet owner doesn't mind laying down $1,000 to figure out Fido.
I see. Now, has your work helping pets discover their sexual identity helped you solidify your own sexual identity?
Well, for a while I thought it had. And thought I'd really made progress, but I've found more and more that working with such confused animals has left me just totally sexually confused as well, and I've actually had myself spayed.
Okay. Pat, you're a young man breaking ground in a new field. You're to be commended. There's a lot of animals out there in desperate need of your help. Anyway, thanks for having the courage to come on the show.
Pleasure to be here.
Thank you, Pat.